Listen. Yeah. Yes, God. Oh. Get that out of there. Listen. Hey, everybody, it's your boy, Matty Rants. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This is a rant with me, which you know, very much a conversation of many things, if not everything that's going on right now that I am interested in having a conversation about with you. I appreciate y'all for tuning in today. This is going to be, I would like to say an hour, but I'd be a liar. So, but we are going to talk about a couple of things today, and I hope that you can stick around and listen to this journey as we travel through the Hot Topics universe, have a story time of dating proportions. And I haven't really talked about Thanksgiving yet with y'all. So for sure, we'll have that conversation, words, adjectives, verbs. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm going to get my social medias out the way, and then I am going to use a disclaimer. The last time I didn't do that, my video was not monetized and was limited. So I'm hoping that YouTube understands that these rant with me's are for entertainment purposes. Although I am talking about other topics as well, everything is meant to be for entertainment. So I hate that I have to stress that, but because of how everything's been going, I have to stress that. So here we go. Let's do my social medias first. Let's get that disclaimer going, and then let's start talking, and I will give you the topics at hand today, okay? It's at MattyRants everywhere except for Twitter, which is at the MattyRants. You can find that all in the link tree link in the description down below. If you grab a branch and eat some fruit, it's a little bit of Mativia. It's a good poot. You can find merch for merch from me. Yeah, me merch. Merch. Me. Rant Pack merch, Mativia shirts, the panel, and the Sundays are best with the panel. All available at dragqueenmerch.com. Shout out to Bible Girl and Company. And we also, I also have a sticker set up with Drag Queen merch. So if you're interested in some stickers, I think they're currently on sale right now, and you should check them out. Get you a sheet or two. I also react to each and every one of the episodes that I cover on my YouTube channel, as well as some special episodes that I do exclusively for Patreon. You can check out my Patreon if you type in Matty Rants. That link is also in the description down below. For as low as $1 a month, you can watch over 200 videos of me reacting to everything and giving y'all my real first impressions. Also, I am bookable on Cameo. Now, based off of the things I'm going to be talking about today, as well as the words that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to be very careful with my words, shout out to going to school for broadcast journalism, this disclaimer is important. Now, this show is for entertainment purposes only, and content is not intended to malign any religion, race, company, individuals, or wigs. All opinions expressed by Matty Rants and program participants are so their personal views and do not reflect the opinions of every human being on the planet. No hate should be sent to any of the shows or individuals mentioned on this program, so please don't be a poot. And if you feel uncomfortable after viewing this program, please consume some Activia and have yourself a good bowel movement, okay? Where are we at? Past the 3-minute marker here? All right, here we go. I will address the Shangela stuff. I did my little research today, but I'm going to be very careful with how I have that conversation. It is not to protect Shangela, and it is not to protect the victim in this point. It's to protect myself as someone who has a channel where that can be easily taken away from me because people were in my inbox adamant. Not all of you, but some of you were very rude and nasty to me today about talking about this conversation that's happening here. So I'm going to be very careful with the words that I use. And I will be using allegedly a lot. You can say it's on Reddit and that's the truth. You know that's not true. Everything on Reddit isn't true. But at the same time, this is some serious stuff here. Again, the show's for entertainment purposes, so everything I will be speaking about will be on the alleged factor. I also will be talking about the Dragula drama. I have more insider tea for that, but I'm going to keep most of that to myself because I like my insider links. But I am going to talk about the stuff that went down directly and how it has affected the people, plus the apology that was sent and how a particular group of people were accepting it on the behalf of others. What is going on with that? What's going on with that? That's going to be the heavier stuff today, which is still all entertainment, but not entertainment really. But entertainment, YouTube, don't do it. Entertainment. But after that, once we get through the little, serious stuff that's going on here, and I feel bad for anyone that didn't jump in early in this video because I was going to talk about it later. I'm going to talk about it now. I want to get off my chest because I hate to start off on a positive note and then go right into some drama. I rather focus on that first and then get to the stuff that I was planning on talking about today. Because in reality, I didn't even want to talk about this because of who I am on this network, how it's been treating me lately, and anytime I have the same conversation that say somebody else would have, but they're different, if you know what I mean. So it is scare me a tad bit, but I also want to make sure that I am not being held to an extent to where what's it called? If anything, I'm being held to a standard that's very high, but it's very interesting. Like, imagine you getting a bunch of messages in your inbox today from people that don't even following you, telling you what to do. It was a very weird morning. So I didn't understand what was going on and all that stuff. Liam, that when because I literally have been up to date on this one. So I'm not going to answer to that. I am going to speak on to the other stuff and get into the Dracula drama first. I appreciate you for wanting to say all that, and that's fine, but I have to talk about it from my standpoint, not what you just saw. Okay, baby. And then, of course, we're going to get into the lighter stuff with some story time. I know y'all been wanting to talk to me about some certain things. And, of course, there's that and the other. So if you do want to throw your boy a tip today for hosting a show, you know how it is sometimes with these channels and us not getting the play we deserve. Please and thank you. It's paypal.me/MattyRants, Cash App $MattyRants, and Venmo MattyRants. Not completely necessary at all. What is necessary is that you hit that thumbs up button or thumbs down if you're a hater. Get in the comment section and tell me what you think about some of these topics today and focus on that. And I appreciate you once again for tuning in. Okay. See, Liam, that I can't even talk like that because that is some stuff that's like, okay. All right. Oh, and also quick announcement. So for Thursdays, because normally my rant with me's would be on Thursday, it's still going to be on Thursday, but it'll go under a different title. It's like a collection of reviews that I'm going to have put together. We're Here is going to be a part of that. I'll be giving my final thoughts on this season 2 of Chucky. I did post that reaction available on my YouTube. Patreon, Patreon. And also, I have started watching We're Here as well. That's also going to be, did I say that? I did not say that. Yeah, We're Here is going to be included in that conversation too. Lots of stuff like that. So we'll be having shows every day from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 5 days a week, you got me. Today, you got me for 6. You got me for 6 this time. Okay? All right. So thank you, Becky. I see the tip on Venmo. I appreciate you, baby, for being your amazing, fabulous self. I appreciate you, love. Okay, so as y'all know, We're Here premiered November 25th, I believe. That was a Friday. Had to be. It was on this past Friday with this very, very very crucial episode that happened in Texas, and it was very polarizing to say the least. As someone who was born and raised in Texas with family in Alabama, yeah, I wasn't shocked with how that went down, not even the slightest, and that's the unfortunate part here. But there has been something that has come up recently in the drag race news universe. Okay. And I'm not going to use this person's name. I am not going to go into their personal details, speak of their Instagram account. All of the stuff has been posted onto social media within the last less than 12 hours. So if you type it in, you'll find it. But I'm not going to be the person responsible for sending you over there so you can do what you want to do with that, okay? But Shangela allegedly is being accused of SA. And this is the way I have to word it in order to protect myself in this channel. So I would respect y'all by not going, what does that mean, Matty? Ask the chat, please, for the love of God. Thank you, Fozzie, for the super chat. Love these lives, Matty. I also need the Dracula drama explained because I'm like, oh, well, honey, I will break it down. Now that I'm gonna break down because sister, I had phone calls yesterday over that. I had girls that I know from that were like, okay, girl, you saw that shit? Okay, let me talk to you about that real quick. I had those kind of phone calls, okay? So unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, we can't use that kind of terms here, but a situation took place that involved a particular episode of We're Here with somebody that was with or around Shangela that apparently they were inebriated to an extent to where they couldn't, handle themselves. And that person was then told they could stay in the room for the night. And then apparently they woke up to said person SA. Okay. So that person has, I guess, held this information in, has not spoken about it until recently, and listed it in kind of a very detailed manner. Okay. Not to the extent of where it's like verbatim word by word, but they did kind of put it all out there. Okay. Now, I'm always going to be on the victim side no matter what when it comes to these situations like that, as somebody who has also experienced at multiple times in their life SA. I've had that happen to me on, unfortunately, more than one occasion. And it's because I can sometimes be a little submissive when it comes to how I am when I'm talking to somebody or interested in somebody. And I have been in myself also advantage of. Okay. So I have respect for them and I wish them nothing but health, mental, whatever's going on. I hope that they're in a better place. Okay. Okay. But I understand that, say the situation that happened with Silky, that person lied flat. Britta lied flat. Those were situations where people just lied on them, okay? And they did that because they didn't like them. I can't speak on that now because that just dropped. And there is a lot of people who are writing these fucking think pieces. And I'm very confused by how you have so much information from just reading one person's thoughts on this, okay? So I'm not defending Shangela. I'm just saying there's a lot of people jumping too quickly. And the reason why I'm saying that like I am now is because you can be sued if this ends up being something that's not for defamation of character. That person can be too. I don't know how that's going down. I don't know what's going on with that situation here. So I'm not condemning Shangela. I hate that is what's happening. If that is what the case is, like the fuck. But to the person who had something done to them, baby, I wish you nothing but health and wealth and everything else that comes with it. And I'm standing on your side with this one, but I'm also not going to jump in the bandwagon with people with a pitchfork until I get some more information, until something's really stable here. Does that make sense? Is that it? I mean, some of y'all can tell me to go fuck off with that, but I'm just telling you how I have to do this with what I got with this little channel that I'm trying to make into something and turn myself into somebody else right here. I can't just jump, okay? But I can at least give you the summary of what's going on so you understand why people are feeling some kind of way. This has already started going into these weird conversations where people are now saying, I saw this one tweet that blew my mind. Blew my mind. Because they said, because of these accusations, allegedly, of the things that happened here, allegedly, it negates from the episode that took place in We're Here in Texas by making the conservatives correct about their thinking. Honey, SA does not apply to any sexuality. It encompasses everything. That can happen with straight relationships, non-straight relationships, all of that. That was the dumbest thing I have read so far, where it was like, did you really wake up this morning and think that was intelligent? Because it's not. It's not. And a lot of those people who also were condemning those 3 drag queens for in the shop where we're here out in Texas, honey, they may be those same kind of people that they're talking about. Everyone has demons. You do not know. And a lot of people are bringing up, isn't it interesting how they waited until We're Here started versus doing this when Dancing with the Stars was on? Maybe because of the platform, maybe because this and the other. But at the same time, this is a detailed account. So I, again, am not going to give you, I believe this one, I believe that one. I stand on the victim side. I also am not going to condemn Shangela until I get way more information. So everything for me right now is allegedly. Allegedly. Okay? I just want that to be clear, because I will not have someone bully me into attacking Shangela. And that I was getting messages today talking about, I'm going to flag your channel. I'm going to do everything I can to take you down if you don't take down Shangela. I kid you not. And it was people who weren't even following me. I had messages at 4-something o'clock this morning talking about shit's about to hit the fan. I had stuff at early this morning. I was very confused. I woke up like, what is happening? I woke up. That was the first thing I saw this morning. I had so many notifications in my Instagram inbox, none of them from people that followed me. It was all from random folks. Some were just like, are you going to talk about this? Which I'm fine with that. It's like, okay, are you going to talk about that? Are you going to? I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll talk about it. But it was the folks that were like literally going, look. And you better not defend her. One was like, don't defend her because she's Black. I put that on God. I was like, you know what? This is crazy. Like you did Silky. I was like, but Silky's was proven to be wrong. And their response was, I still believe the person who said it because I don't like Silky. That's the kind of shit I deal with. Okay? So, I'm going to sit back on this one and I will pay attention to what is going on. If there's anything that happens that gives more details into this, I will try my best to cover it. This is not a drama channel. However, as a journalist myself who went to the Walter Cronkite School of Broadcast Journalism, I have a responsibility to have a conversation about it, but not to talk about it in a way that is truthful without having the facts first. And of course, because of how serious this is, following YouTube's terms of service, this is how we need to talk about it. I will once again contest this if this video gets flagged again, to be like, hey, the way I talked about this wasn't to say yes or no, wasn't to this, that, and the other. But I don't want someone to take my power in my channel and turn it against me because I didn't go with their narrative. This break stuff, Matty, because that shit was fucking weird, man. I was like, what is going on? So allegedly, that took place. This person posted detailed information about it. Has Shangela responded? Absolutely not. She posted something that had nothing to do with that. Nothing has been fully addressed. Okay? The person who was the victim allegedly has spoken up in reference about that over the SA allegations. The person who they did it against did not speak on it just yet. Honey, they may be lawyering up. I'm trying to tell you. So y'all can have these conversations in your own spaces and talk about she did this, she did that. I also understand this is not the first time this has come up. Those conversations, though, are held on Reddit. This hasn't been done like this on Instagram where someone just posted a whole conversation. No, most of those conversations end up in Reddit. Okay. And not everything on Reddit is true. We know that for facts. However, I wish the person who is currently dealing with an ordeal that has taken some power away from them I hope they find health and wealth and success as well as mental stability, because I understand as a person myself who has been a victim of that more than one time what that can do to someone's psyche, that can do to someone's mental health. I'm currently, y'all know I go to therapy now for my own stuff, but that is something that I have to talk about often that is attached to other things that I have faced in my life, because things that happened when I was 16, yep, and recently when I was in Vegas, that is a conversation I will have at a later time, put me into positions of having sort of a trust issue with people. And I've had that sort of happen to me recently, because I've noticed something even when I was trying to date somebody recently, where I felt very strange about going there and doing something with them because I felt weird about my body. So again, I'm going to wait for more information before I jump. I get that there's been stories before, but there's also been these moments when these things found out to not be true. To the victim, all my love. To the person being accused, I have nothing to say because I don't know what's going on and you haven't spoken on it. So allegedly, that's the situation that's happening right now. If you want more details, baby, when I tell you Google and Twitter, typing in words and keywords, it will lead you to that page. But it's not my responsibility to have that conversation. There are other drama channels that may cover it. Hell, Bussy might cover this. I don't know, Buss. This can get very deep. So yes, we're gonna do it there. All right. That's the most I'm gonna give you of that. Do you want the Dragula drama now? That's the most I can give you on that. But do you want to talk about this Dragula stuff? Now that I can go into a little bit deeper. I can go a little bit deeper into the Dragula stuff, because that one that is a little bit different, a lot bit different, something that can be talked about in a whole nother range versus this conversation here. But just a disclaimer, once again, this program is for entertainment purposes only, and content's not intended to malign any religion, race, company, individuals, or breaks. If you see the rest of this, please don't send any hate to any of the people that we're talking about today, okay? Thank you. All right. So, hi everybody. Hi, how's it going? I feel even weird having that first part of the conversation, because I had to talk to my lawyer today about it. I was like, what should I say? How can I say it? He's like, I prefer you not to even speak at all, but I know that the people on your channel are going to hold you responsible for this, Matthews, like, because this is your universe and what you talk about, but you need to use this word, you need to talk about that. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's talk about the Dracula stuff. Girl. I don't want to laugh, but how would okay. I'm going to protect the people who I had a conversation with about this, that have insider stuff that I happen to know that you wouldn't know, that they're not going to post. I also know that somebody said something that was only 75% true, and they didn't tell the rest of the story. And I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but one person who had an account of everything told a big portion of it. They didn't tell the whole stuff, though. And that's what y'all don't know. You may be like, oh, they did, honey. There was a little bit more to that. And that I found out recently. And I was like, whoa. But it was also like, maybe that one can actually be fixed. The other stuff, though, that damage is deep. Okay. Here we go. I will be speaking about this all once again, allegedly, but high key, no, it's already been given out there, honey, as far as the tea. So here's what the gag and the goop is. Now, there was a conversation that was happening with a group chat that was taking place between the Black and POC people that were on Dragula, issuing their complaints and having sort of that moment. Like, we as Black people, and say some folks in the POC community, sometimes we have to bond over our TRAU, finish the rest. Okay. And so they're having those conversations in the chat to almost validate the experiences with each other. So that way we know, like, oh, okay, it's not just me. Saint so happened to be a part of this conversation. What Saint did, though, was screenshot this information and sent it to production. Production then reached out to each one of these people each one of these people. Girl, English to everyone involved in this. Okay? To everyone involved in this. All right? And that's how it was spilled like, girl, that was you. And there was no apologies given until just yesterday, right? Then, allegedly, Meatball made a statement in reference to the Boulay brothers, saying that they basically said, how can she have a conversation about POC and blackness when they've been adopted by white parents? Allegedly. I heard another take on that, but I'm gonna be quiet. I heard a portion of it that was actually very much matching that, and I also heard that I heard I'm not gonna say who said it, but I heard it wasn't the Boulets allegedly that said that. I heard it was someone in production in the room that said that. That's the most I'm gonna give you on that one. That's all I'm gonna say. I heard it was someone in the room, not the Boulets specifically. That's the most I'm gonna do. And mind you, like someone had like spilled that to her or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I heard it was someone in the room, not them specifically. I'm like, this is me. Well, did one of them sound like a Muppet? But I don't want to go more. I don't want to go too much into allegedly. She's like, don't catch me here. Don't catch me here. But that's what I was told. And I was told by more than one person about that yesterday. But I also understand that based off of hearing that alone, regardless of it being them or even production, I wouldn't want to deal with them either after that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to deal with them either after that. My phone is on do not disturb. That call should have never came in. There was also accounts apparently of Saint being disingenuous. You already know that it's the Coco situation, how she was dragging Coco, but yet that's supposed to be her girl and all that kind of crap, but it was the fakeness going towards there. There was also Yovska's situation with Saint after she was talking about, apparently Saint was making fun of Erica Clash's body parts, allegedly. And Yovska was brought into that conversation. They were just making fun of her and all this kind of shit. Yet that same day, she was trying to hang out with her and all that kind of crap. Yovska was calling her fake, all that jazz. I heard that one queen in particular was quite nasty to a former winner on the show. And everybody loves this person, but they're actually kind of a bitch. I had a lot. I'm tired. I had to go to sleep with some prayers on me, y'all. I put that on everything. I was like, girl, this is too much. This is too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. I just heard a lot of stuff that had happened, like background things with this information. Now, last night, so there was an apology posted by Saint yesterday in reference to the situation that took place and that happened. And that apology was very interesting because it really wasn't an apology to the people who she kind of fucked over, if I'm going to be very frank and real with you. I found it more disturbing that there were people of non-color accepting her apology that had nothing to do with that situation. I was very confused. I know y'all want to support your queens, but sometimes your silence is necessary. You could support her from afar. That wasn't for you to take. And that's where my tweet came from last night. Because I was like, y'all have got to be fucking kidding me. They're just going to be mad at you, girl. They're calling Coco a bully, allegedly. They're using certain terms and word, girl. It's a mess. It's a mess. Okay. That apology, to me, after reading it, and y'all know I'm good at reading apologies and breaking them down. Hey, friend. Okay. And explaining to people like what it is, what it is, right? That was for the fandom. That was for the fandom. Yes, Maxi Glamour wrote this in detail. And I'm explaining it not from the full verbatim standpoint, because that's not my position to do as a journalist, but to talk about it from how I receive that information as well as other information. She broke it down. You better catch it before it's gone. I don't know if it's Pokemon. I don't know. But the terms aggressiveness and BUL, finish the rest of it, all of that were used against these Black and POC people who had issued their complaints. And it really pissed me off a bit because it was just very like, here we go. Here we go again. Like, you don't actually recognize when we talk about this. And then when people go, well, no, there actually are a bully. Well, you can't speak on behalf of a Black person or a person of color's experience and what they feel like with racism. And you can't look at another Black person and then go, hey, you're Black too, right? Yeah. So how was racism free? That doesn't apply the same. Everybody grew up in different spaces, places, neighborhoods, school systems. Everything is different. No one has the same household. Even children who have siblings, brothers and sisters, they don't grow up the same. Do you hear me? So how dare you? How dare you? And that's how I feel about reading people talk about it. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, there's no way you can speak on behalf of, there's no way you can do all of that. That gives me internalized racism. It gives me internalized bigotry. It gives me a biased feeling that you can do that. And you conflate and confuse your opinion on something you don't have an opinion on because you don't know. And it's the truth. It's the truth. I know you hate hearing that you're wrong. It's okay. Take your L. It's okay. Take it. Take that L. It's cute sometimes. Take it. Sometimes you just got to sit back and watch it go down. If you love Saint, support that bitch. Support her down. Nine Tails is right. I can't highlight that because that word is a part of the terms of service here. Nine Tails, that is the word that they use in the apology. Weaponizing. Damn, you made me say it, girl. Listen. Disclaimer, disclaimer. I don't know her, but I disclaimer. And it took away from the apology, just like another situation that happened when somebody had said something and said something behind it. It was like, but girl, if you're going to do all of that, you can't say that too, because it adds to the pressure that you want to put on these people by saying that what you did wasn't wrong. That's the problem. You may feel morally wrong, but you don't think what you did fully is wrong. I made the post yesterday. Stop accepting apologies that have nothing to do with you. You don't have to accept anybody's apology, especially when it has nothing to do with you. That's the people who it affected. But when you read the statement, it comes off like it's for the fans and not for the people in hand. And I like Saint a lot. I'm a big fan of their work, but I also understand that the fact going over the seasons, because now it's being alleged that Saint was carried through season 4, won Resurrection because of this, and was judged on a different standard than anybody else like that during the season. I was like, holy shit. So I don't want to say that's true because I don't know if that's true, right? I don't want to jump in on that and be like, yeah, girl, can you believe? But it is a gag. It is a gag that all of that dropped the way it did. And people were coming for Coco because there has go through the tweets. Coco was giving you tea, but not dropping and spilling. She was very much like, y'all gonna see, don't worry about it. Just like that girl that did that kind of stuff. Let me get off of here and do all that kind of crap. That was how Coco was very much alluding to things, but she wasn't directly going in on it. Then when she speak on something, all of a sudden she bullying. Girl, please don't do my sister like that. There's a lot that went through that. I talked to multiple folks about this yesterday. I ain't gonna tell you who, but I talked to multiple people that know what went down in that room, what went on in that message box, what went over here, and what went over there. And I said, okay, I'm gonna take all this, compact it up, bow it, and throw it. And I'm just gonna give the light because it's not my tea to serve, but it's also tea that we talking about because we watched the show, right? So yeah, so basically she took her sister's trust for granted. She took group messages that they were talking about with the complaints that they had to production. Production reached out to those people, so it was no longer a thing. It no longer had anything to do, I guess, with them, and it turned into a big mess. And then of course Meatball spilled some tea, and then Yovska and Saint were going back and forth, and then all of a sudden we get an apology that's not really to the people, it's really to the fans, and that really sucks. Coming soon. I I actually might just get her to come on me and Dooley's review versus the panel because I'm not about to have Coco sit up there and Chris don't even watch the damn show, which pisses me off. Um, I'll more than likely try to get Miss Coco to pop in on one of the reviews if she has some time because baby girl's busy. But we're gonna try our best. We'll try our best too. I will because this is my channel and Dooley just shows up. Let me stop. I will try to get this done. Okay. Um, But yes, this is all available, Destiny, on Twitter. I would type in Dragula, DRAM. You know the rest of it. And honey, have a good time because the girls were posting. I'll put it like this, Rudy. Chris watches Drag Race because he's a fan of it, but he's not a fan of Dragula, right? Also, at the same time, Chris has his own channel with his own programs that he watches with Housewives Universe. I watch every show that Chris watches. I don't cover it. Does that make sense? Oh, actually, I just said I watch those shows, so I low key could talk about them. So that's not the same. However, he may listen. It's hard for some folks, to just do a whole lot of. I watch TV regularly. I was raised on the television, so for me, I can watch 20 programs, then turn on my camera and go, "What do you want to talk about?" That's just how I operate. I'm so mad. I was like, "Wait, I was wrong." But yes, that's the Dragula drama right now. A lot of other stuff is being alleged and put up. Some girls are making alluding to other castmates and their bad behavior too, et cetera, et cetera. I had heard one person was really nasty to a former winner, and there's only been how many winners, so you can go ahead and do the math on that. Like really rude. And it was like, really? They did that? Why? What was the purpose of that for? And that's all I'm going to say about it. That's the most I can do. I don't want to get people in trouble, but and I don't want my you know, the dolls trust me. I'm not trying to spill that but I also understand that it's like, you can't just hold that. You got to at least allude to some of those things because it gives context to situations that happen on the show, outside the show, through social media, where people play worshiper and they forget that everybody's a human at the end of the day. Nobody is a god. So, oh yeah, then there was the whole moment where I guess people were now bringing up the fact that isn't it interesting that the Boulay brothers had basically said that what was it? Monarchy Shame. I used to call her Moniki. Basically, that they were saying that the bullying that she was receiving was the reason why we had Trump elected in the first place, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. When that person has literally said some racial fucking stuff and has said some other things that were crazy before. I've seen those accounts too. But, that's kind of the gist of it as well. I also find it really weird and strange when people start to tell me or tell others, like, so what, we can't say any words now? If it's racist, homophobic, or the rest of it, hell no. Transphobic, no, you may not. Oh, for the sake of comedy, girl, I will. All right, find out what the taste of spit smells. You're going to find out. Either way. Yeah, and Ninetail, do you remember me talking about that? Do you remember? Do you remember me and Dooley talking? Do you remember? We both sat there and said that was uncomfortable for many reasons, and we were called sensitive. Yet, if I go into my history of Blackness, into slavery, into other things of that nature, that was one of the torture devices used. That's how they would show other slaves don't cross us, by showing them in those positions to make them fear the masters. Oh, yeah. Did you not know that? Take a couple of classes and get into it. Read a few books, you'll find out. And I knew that firsthand because when I went to, I took a couple of African American studies classes because I want to know more about my people, where I come from. And I had to see pictures from, like, they were taking pictures like it was game. These owners and stuff like that, they would be posing next to the bodies, strung up and hung up and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, wow. And maybe they didn't think about that when they were posting it, but that's when you have to start asking yourself questions here. Is the way this person was taken out actually necessary? Do we have to do it like that? Do we have to get him like that? That's where I have to go with those moments. Yes, it was a very crazy way to see someone be killed or whatever, or exterminated on the show. And if someone were to tell me, well, honey, if they were white, how would you feel about it? I wouldn't, because that hasn't been anything in history in reference to that outside of something to do with CA and then, the rest of the word to go with that, unless you want to get real deep into it. And let's say the person is of a certain background during a certain time when somebody was basically experiment. We can do all of that. We can go there. Let's get real semantics, bitch. Let's do all of that. But other than that, that's the most I have for the tea in reference for that situation. A lot of it's on Twitter right now. The girls on Reddit are doing the most. Please take Reddit lightly. There are a lot of folks that are just adding to fuel to the fire because it's a popular topic. And it's unfortunate that, it's really unfortunate that there are situations where people are like, ooh, that's what they're talking about. I'm going to jump in because I want to be popular right now too with this. And they think this is some sort of social way of communicating when it's not. And people are actually telling you their stories. So that way they're not hiding anymore and going through it. Okay. So that's all for the tea today. That's all for the allegedly and all of the, this possibly is going on. This is what this person said. And that's happening here. But none of this right now has been verified to be true. So please take it for what it is. It's just gossip right now. But to the person in the first story with Shangela, I stand by you and I hope that you have healing in this moment. I don't have anything against Shangela right now because I don't know if that's true yet or not. As a journalist of my own sorts, I can't speak on it like that. So allegedly for me. Same thing going with the Boulay brothers in the Dracula drama. That's what the girls are talking about. I've heard some things myself, but that doesn't make everything immediately true. So I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon with you. If you need me to be some crazy person that's yelling at the TV, that's catch me a couple years ago. Catch me a couple years ago, girl. Do all that. Right now, I have to play this game a little bit better because, yes, I'd like to be more recognized in what I do, but I also know from my own experience and my own education how to handle this and talk about it, okay? All right. That's it for drama. Not drama. Allegedly. Things of that nature. Okay? can we do some lighter stuff now? Let's talk about some lighter stuff. And also, please hit that thumbs up button or whatever you feel like. Comment section, go in. And if you want to drop a tip in my jar, just for going live today and having a conversation with y'all and being fun, cute, whatever, then PayPal at me for /MattyRants, catch up to all Simon Rants, Venmo /Rants. The first is coming up. Help. I have a power bill I'm trying to pay too, please. And I'm playing with y'all. Of course, I'll make my money, but at the same time, if you would drop a tip or two, thank you. I'd appreciate it, but no big deal. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever your mentality is going to take, wherever it's going to take you, baby. And again, that comment section here, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Okay, so let's talk about some stuff that y'all have been wanting to talk about, and like personal things. It's Matty. Who am I? Who am I? I had a great Thanksgiving, but people were asking me about, did you spend it with your family? And I chose not to. I chose not to spend it with my family this year because I didn't feel I'm like, I have to talk about this now. I just started mentioning I'm in a weird place with my family. I'm thankful for my pops and my brothers and my sisters and all that. But as I'm getting older, my tolerance for people's tolerance, not acceptance of me, I just can't do it anymore. And I don't want to go to another holiday gathering where someone's going to say something that is going to be triggerable for me. The last holiday event I had with them, that is what happened. And so leading up to that moment, I could talk about Wakanda forever. But leading up to that moment, I decided to go to my friend's house for Thanksgiving. Shout out to Ron, shout out to Joe. I got to meet his family and his mom. It was really good food. We had oxtails, we had turkey legs, greens, green beans, dressed and stuff. We had that good old pound cake, baby. I was good and happy. I ate all the food, shit, mac and cheese, all that. I ate all that sucker sitting right over there, And so it was interesting because I got to sit in a house with two other gay men, Black gay men, and I see this person's mother, who I've never met before in my life, but she gives me my mama's energy, like down. And there was no uncomfortableness. There was no, these kids are here, so you can't. I didn't feel like I had to put on a different mask to walk in a room. And these people I'm not even related to. So that's why I chose to spend my Thanksgiving with them. And I actually am going to be spending Christmas alone this year. I'm not going to be spending it with my family. I will more than likely be going live on YouTube that day, to be honest with you. I love them down, but I have to protect my peace in a sense, especially when it's being challenged. I have to. Yeah. So I feel really weird about it. It's something even, and I know it's like, you're talking about this with us now. Yeah, I am. Oh my God, I totally am. But me and my therapist have talked about this, and she knows I speak directly about this on my channel. Hi. She sometimes watches. This helps her with her work with me. But I haven't been good at setting boundaries. And sometimes that has gotten me into trouble, and it's gotten me into positions where people end up hating me afterwards because I didn't establish what I felt firsthand. And then sometimes, what's the word? And then sometimes, what's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes because I didn't put those boundaries up, it leads into a clashing. And then I'm having to explain things, and that person's not listening, and they have now assumed, and they've taken it and they ran with it, and they're going off on Twitter about it, whatever, because I didn't talk about the things that actually make me feel uncomfortable, or the things that they did that put me in a position, or anything like that, right? So for me, I have tried to address those problems with particular family members. Some have been very good with me about it, and others have been not willing to change. So why do I have to be the one to walk into the room and feel uncomfortable? Why do I have to walk in the room and tone it down? When I walked into a friend's house and met their family as a stranger and was received very well. And so it's interesting when I get to see people in these spaces receive me like that. It blows my mind because I'm like, oh, this is what it looks like. And then I get really emotional because I think about what if my mama was still here? Like, would this be the case? Would I be dealing with this? Would I be going through these things? And then I have to tell myself, like my therapist says, get your head out of that space, Matthew, because that's not a possibility because your mom's not here with you anymore. I'm like, this is true. And I have to stop thinking that way. But that's where my mind starts to go to. If mommy was still here, I wouldn't be dealing with this. If I did all this, I wouldn't be having to go through these things. Like, you know what I mean? So, because, and I talked about this on Instagram, my mother was my protector in my family as well as my sister, who I am very close to now. And even my brother, one of my brothers is like that, very much protectors of me because I am sensitive. And that has been used against me in multiple times. I've gotten into physical altercations with my family members. A lot of us have, but y'all haven't been in some beat down brawls like I have. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Where they're fighting me to toughen me up, that kind of stuff. And that shit still hits, even in my 30s now. It still hits. I don't want to fight nobody. I know how to, but I don't want to. You know what I mean? And so it's really weird. No, the thing is I have siblings because there's 10 of us, right? Three of us are 18 months apart. There's one of my brothers, me, and then my sister. We're all 18. Yes, it's very weird, but we're all 18 months apart. Then I have siblings that are in their 50s. I have siblings in their 40s. I have siblings that are in their early 20s. And I even have younger brothers that are very much 9 and 11. You know what I mean? Oh, I have to stop doing that. You know what I mean? I'm catching myself. um, I have somebody from Louisiana that I've been having talking to lately. So that you heard all that's been in my it's been sticking to me like ribs. um, but yeah, it's very interesting how the generational gaps go within the brothers and the sisters in society and all that kind of stuff. But not to knock my family because I love my family. They have come through for me on many, 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 many occasions where they put things aside to take care of each other. But that's family sometimes though. So I'm having to take myself out of that headspace of thinking this is how it should be and just know that this is what it is. And because it is like that, I don't have to deal with that. I'm grown. I have money. I can do my own thing. I'm not obligated for shit. So right now I do feel a little strange though, because I wish it was different, but I'm also not begging them to like love me. But I'm also in that headspace of going, okay, when we get to this, hey, Maddie's piece of cake kind of stuff, all that, you're not going to be okay with that. And I'm going to have to be okay with that because I love what I do and I love me. So, but shout out to my fam. I hope they had a good Thanksgiving. I really didn't even talk to nobody. My sister did invite me to her Thanksgiving because her mama was like, "Where is Maddie at? I want my Maddie." But it was just like, and even my sister and me talked about this. She is my emergency contact. Um, she understood. I just said, not now. I can't be around everybody because I'm not in the headspace to perform. I don't have to perform in front of her. I have to do it in front of other people. So she got it. She understood. My sister knows. She watches too, but like she gets it. So for me, my journey going into next year with my family and myself is to still have my boundaries, to make them as high as they need to be where I feel comfortable, and to not accept false apologies, false narratives, or anything that is not genuine for my journey and my self growth as a person on this earth. Okay. And it's hard because a lot of people think I'm selfish when I'm really not. I may do things that can be selfish, but I'm not a selfish person. I unfortunately give more away of my own self than I do for others sometimes. I end up being broken, then called an asshole later, but it is what it is. Either way, I love him down. And when it's my time to see him again, I'll see him again. But I can't do it right now. Mm-mm. Let's talk about dating, shall we? Let's talk about it. Let's you want some horror stories? Cuz I've had a couple lately. um I had to recently delete my Tinder and a couple other dating apps because I can't do it no more. I can't do it. I tried. I was like, I just moved. I got my own place. I got it. That's where my mind was at. It was like, well, every time someone asks for my YouTube channel, I know, unfortunately, 75 to 80% of the time, I will be unmatched. They see the drag. No. They see me talking about Drag Race. No. They see me doing all of this with you. No. And it's funny because this guy I know, he watches my stuff, and he's very much interested in me. He was telling me, he's like, it's so funny because Matt, I see you on YouTube, and it's like you are the extension of the extrovert that sometimes you don't get to be in your own personal life, because I'm a worrier and I'm a person who is a little bit, timid when it comes to certain stuff, even though I know if I went and did it, I'd fuck it all the way up. And I always prove myself wrong. That part. I always prove myself wrong in situations when I get in my brain, right? So he's like, it's always so funny to see you because it's this like version of yourself, because it is you, and I see those moments with you, but when you're off camera, it's like you become that shy guy again. And you also become a little bit more submissive in this, that, and the other. And it's true. So he's like, it's sad that people can sometimes assume that from looking at your channel that you're going to be like this all the time, which in reality, this is awesome. So I don't get it. But yes, Eris, sometimes I can be a little like this, especially if I don't know the people who I'm around, because sometimes I have in my head that people are going to judge me too quickly. And that's coming from experience of they see this, they see this, they see this, and go. So I develop a defense mechanism sometimes, which can come off as standoffish. And I don't mean to be. I really don't mean to be, but it just comes off that way because I personally do not know how to deal, So it ends up coming off like that. Like, I don't want to speak to you, or I'm like very like this and da da da. I do open up once I get to know you. Once I have figured you out, once I've like seen what it is, I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it now. So like the first initial time, if you didn't address me as Matty Rants, and it was like, hi, I'm meeting you as Matt, da, 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 I'm going to be a little bit like this. Now, somehow when I hear Matty, boom, I'm Showtime, but it's not like Showtime, like I'm gonna be fake, but it's like that extroverted part of me goes to the next level. Ninetail, you've met me. You've met me, baby. You've met me. Um, Well, what does ease the tension, T, is like I'll end up always having that conversation to them later about how I felt, because that normally comes up like, Maddie, when I first met you, I didn't know. Da, 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 da. I'm like, listen, let me tell you how it goes with me. And even my friends now that I'm really close to, they've kind of figured this out about me, where if I don't know them quite yet, I don't that defense comes up. But then once I get to feel them a little bit, I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah. So Nine Tails actually has seen me, girl, baby, you probably have seen me both in the quiet sphere and the loud spheredom. I have a friend too. My friend Eric too will tell you the same thing. He's another Rant Pack member who's hung out with me outside of Matty Rants and just doing stuff like that. And he's like, okay, I kind of get it now. It's like, sometimes it just takes me a second because I need to figure you out, because I'm worried that you're wanting to be my friend to hurt me. And I have had people in my life before who were best friends coming over to my house every day, talking to me like this, that, and the other. Meanwhile, dragging me. I'm going to tell you about this story. When I was working at this call center for T-Mobile many moons ago, I had this friend of mine. She was lesbian, and we bonded over us being queer in this workspace. And she all of a sudden stopped talking to me one day, and I didn't know what for. Found out that she was bipolar later, and she also was a scam artist, but I'll keep going. But I helped her find an apartment that she so happened to have. She got a townhome literally down like the way from me. We were like next door neighbors, if you want to talk about it. Okay. And I come to find out that she made a profile on, hey Aaron. She made a profile on Aaron. Oh, see, Aaron, you've seen me outside of this person here, where I'm still the same person, but I'm a little bit quieter. I'm a little bit like this. And then the times I get up and I'm ready to go. But listen, she made a fake account on Adam for Adam and pretended to be someone that liked me, and we were talking this, that, and the other. And she was making me send my nudes to her and all that stuff. She was then showing it to people around the call center. People who I knew, people who I was really cool with. The sad part is that I didn't get to know this information until after I was let go from that job. And then they felt comfortable to talk about it. But meanwhile, I had people laughing at me, talking about me, making gestures and stuff like that. And she was just making fun of me the entire time. And I never knew what our issue was. I never got closure from that moment of understanding what her problem was with me. And she said something about I was being fake, and I talked behind her back and da 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 da. And what I found out is that the person who lived behind me, who was also gay, was some messy queen. We would talk about stuff, and they would ask me probing questions about them, and then take my words and flip them so they can get cool again. Okay. That's kind of one of those moments that has ruined my trust with people. And there have been many more instances when that had happened. A lot of instances that happened. My light skinnedness is always being brought into the equation, which is why y'all may see me sometimes defend myself on that note. But I also recognize colorism in many instances, as my family is of multiple different melanins. But it puts me in a weird position because that's been used to almost negate every argument I've had in situations, because they're like, but you're light skinned and you look good. So it would be this weird where I would not want to speak highly of myself because, oh, of course he's going to talk like that because he's light skinned. Of course he's going to do that because of this, that, and the other. And it really would fuck with me because I'm like, now I'm being meek, and now I'm being shy, and now I'm not really being myself because I'm afraid that somebody is going to take, someone's going to take my words, misconstrue them, and turn me into the villain. So yeah, mentally that stuff still affects me a little bit, to where I'm very cautious about people. And that has bled into my dating life, because that's what we were talking about before I went into that story. But, that's bled into my dating life, where I'm very nervous to give people information, addresses, this, that, and the other, especially because I do YouTube now. And there are people who have very much adamantly made it very clear they hate me. I don't know why. I mean, I know why. But I don't know why. I know why, but I don't know why. Does that make sense? I know, but I don't know. I don't know, but I don't know. Because it's just like, what is the problem? Like, what's the issue? So, I don't know. I just gave y'all a lot of me today. Oh my goodness. But that's kind of why I'm weird about dating, and I'm weird about people, getting into my world. I've dated a dude before. He put a knife on me, child. I used to date the hood boys. I used to date them trap motherfuckers. Oh yes. That was back in the day when Matty was rolling with the, the them dolls like that. You know what I'm saying? Matty was out there in the cut. Oh, so no, let me talk about it though, because I'm not inclined with anyone. I'm not like physical. Okay, just let me tell you. Okay, let me get the story out. Okay, let me get the story out because it happened. If y'all remember, for those who follow me on Twitter, I posted this moment about this guy who was talking like he was so intelligent and non-judgmental, and he was visiting from town and this, that, and the other. And this story wouldn't have been told if you didn't do what you do. But I know you have my channel now, so if you catch this live, talking about you, bitch. But he was like, "Oh, we're gonna meet. Let's meet up. I want to go on a date. I want to meet you in person. We can meet somewhere." I was like, "Cool. I'm good to go with that. I got money. I can travel where I want to go. What's up?" But he asked for my YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, here we go." And I said, "You might want to check out the live section first. That's where most of my content is." I told him that the previous day, it was like a Saturday. It was like 7:30 in the evening. We get to Sunday and he never spoke again. He didn't speak or anything, right? I was like, okay, maybe he's busy. By the time the panel finished, because I checked it before the panel and he still was in the conversation, right after the panel, removed. Okay. So it made me a little insecure and self-conscious again because I thought the conversation was going well. I'm just being myself, which I haven't done before when it came to dating for the majority of my 20s. I didn't really get fully comfortable with Matty until my 30s, which is the truth. And I just was like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to butch it back up again? Am I supposed to just be somebody different that I'm not? Like, I sound like this, but I play sports too. I do stuff like drag race, but I enjoy watching other stuff too. I'm not just encompassed into the rainbow cycle, as the girls like to say. I just am a big supporter of that. You know what I mean? Because that's my community. And I'm not an internalized gay that's dealing with homophobia on the inside, because there are gay people out there who are still dealing with that internalized homophobia, and they act that out in the things that they do by trying to be in a heteronormative space, right? So check this out. I'm gonna tell this story. It's so funny. In the middle of this happening and me being like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, I literally ordered food. I was like, I'm just trying to have a good day. The Uber Eats driver drops my food off at somebody else's house. And I was so mad. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Oh, bitch, I was evil. Because it was Whataburger. It was the grilled chicken sandwich combo. You already know it's that brioche bun with that water sauce, that little lettuce. I don't do no tomato because it's going to ruin my Sammy. I had a large Whataburger fry. I had a 0 sugar because, I beat diabetes. For those of you who didn't know, I talked about this earlier. I was borderline pre-diabetic at the beginning of this year, and I'm no longer in that stage anymore. So, yay! But that was scary because it runs in my family. But now I know I'm supposed to only, if I do juice, it has to be sugar-free. It has to be. Or if I drink some juice from like a restaurant, one glass, and then everything else is just water. Okay, cool. Anywho, I didn't get my food and I was pissed and I was just like, this is the worst day ever. This is the worst day ever. Like, this motherfucker right here did me dirty. Now I'm not getting my food. I ordered the food because I wasn't like happy. I also got low key. I got a Whataburger Junior because you can get those burgers, the small one. I was hungry. Anywho, I was hungry, so my food didn't come. That didn't happen. I get a text message. No, lies. It was on, and I'll be real. Oh God, I hate that I'm saying this. It was Grindr. My account's deleted, so if you see me on there, that's fake. My account's deleted now. It's fake. If y'all are in the room, I'm sorry, before I continue this, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Become part of this Rant Pack family. Drop a tip of my jar if my story time is wonderful for y'all. It's the holiday season. Help! Help! But that thumbs up will do, and thanks for listening and tuning in here. Okay, so continuing. So I get this message, and it's from an account that's like top looking. I'm like, I don't like that shit. Because I'm like, I'm not a hookup, and I'm in that headspace, in that space now where I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for. I want to find someone who I can build something with, and we end up getting a house together. I want a ring on my finger. I want to be married. I'm thinking about children. This is where my mind's been at ever since I moved into this apartment. Going, it's the next step. Let's not do all that, right? Okay, cool. So he hits me up and he's like, "Hey, Matthew." And I'm like, "Oh shit, like you know my name and you address me." And so he sent his picture on top of it because it was like it was like a pictureless profile, right? It's somebody that I dated in 2018, right before I moved to Los Angeles. And one of the reasons why we didn't actually further pursue the relationship. Oh, Monica, I'm dead fucking serious. I was like, what? Like it was a gag to see him. I was like, what? So, and they're like totally my type. Like 6'7", Louisiana, bred and raised, like very much that. It's like it was kind of gag. I was like, what the fuck? So he was going through things originally at the time that were causing him to question what he wanted to be in his world. He's like 4 years younger than me. He at that time he was very like, I don't want to do this job. This isn't who I am as a person. And so he ended up going back home, and it also was because of family issues, right? So it was like I could understand that. At the same time, this is right when I quit my job. I literally quit that job at the bank. I wasn't making any money on YouTube. If I was making anything, it was like maybe $100, maybe 150. Some months I wasn't even making threshold. I didn't have the views just yet. And also in reality, I also didn't monetize my channel like I was supposed to. I could have, y'all don't know this, but I was supposed to have monetized my channel for an entire year before I realized that I could have monetized it. I went a whole year without making money. YouTube was sending me the request. Do you want to monetize this? I was questioning myself and my self-worth, and it was sad. But I moved to LA. They moved back to Louisiana. They ended up moving back to Houston, and they got in this relationship with this guy. And I didn't know that because we stopped communicating. I don't know what came over me, but one day I was like, I'm gonna hit him up. And so I said, hi. I got a picture back of him with another guy, and the guy making a face like, And it wasn't any sort of response. There was no hello, anything. It was just a picture of him with some dude. And I was like, the fuck? Like, like, oh shit, oh my bad. You with somebody, my bad. Like let me get the fuck out of here. There is so much to that part. Oh, bitch, y'all are not ready for this. It's such a good story. I was like, I'm gonna be hyped to talk about it. So another 2 years went by, and I heard from them again. And it was like, Matt, I'm in town. Are you in Houston? I was like, no, I'm living in Los Angeles right now. Damn, I really wanted to see you. And I felt it was weird because I'm like, you sent me some random picture of you and some dude, right? Like, what are you fucking talking to me for? And I just kept it very dry. So after that, another 2 years, girl, this is crazy. Another year went by after that, year or so. Nope, 2 years, 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. Right? Okay. Rants and rambles. You gotta listen. You gotta listen. It's cool. This is crazy. This is crazy. Okay. So that's all the backstory, right? 2 years has gone by. We really haven't spoken in a long time. We both actually moved back to Houston around the same time. We both moved to Houston around the same time. And I was like, what? But we didn't know it. We didn't know that we were back. But he lived on the opposite side of town. And then we get over there, right? Okay. So 2 years, no speaking. Boom. So he hits me up on Grindr and is like, what's up? And I'm like, it's been 2 years. He's probably single now. So, what's going on? He's like, it would be really good to see you. because I haven't seen you in so long. And me and him have been through so much together over those like actually talk about it, Matt, 5 years of knowing each other, that it was like, yeah, well, let me come on over. Just come on over. We'll talk. We haven't caught up yet. He comes over. This is the same day that I had the guy completely diss me on Tinder. The same day the Whataburger meal didn't come through. This is literally this Sunday, okay? He comes over. He was like, he was like, I'm going to go to Crocker's first because I want to grab a drink with my friend, but I'm only going to be here for an hour because I don't like to go out like that. And he was true to his word. He was like, in and out in an hour. So he came over. I was like, okay, still attractive, still a giant, still wonderful, all that kind of stuff. We had this really big, long hug, and it was like that transferal of energy, like almost like that lost connection, those magnets, boom, right back again. So then we start talking on the couch, right? And we're just having a conversation. And he was going over, like, I was trying to talk to you and I sent you this happy Thanksgiving, but you kind of gave me like this, dry energy. So I didn't know if you were with somebody and this and the other. I said, hold on. I said, because you have a new number and I've been had this number. So you should still have my shit. I then go through our text history and show him the picture he sent me. He didn't send the picture. Apparently, this guy's now for sure, ex-boyfriend didn't have a phone and was using his phone. I texted him hi. He scrolled through our history and saw who I was and then sent the picture back. He deleted the picture so that he wouldn't know that he sent that picture to me, because it only looked like there was a time lapse of oh yeah. I was like, what? Because he showed me on the phone our text history before this was all even mentioned. He's like, I don't even have that picture in the phone. I then got a very long story about the ex and his problems with substance abuse and his excuse me, I should have said the other word with that, but that kind of stuff and other things that were happening, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of that. It was a lot of that. And the guy was just messy and just off his rocker. And it ended up being a situation where he had to like get out of it because it was just so toxic for him. And it ended up helping him grow as a person and stuff like that. And he's honestly been through so many things or whatever. But he was like, so you're telling me that the reason why you were dry to me this entire time, the reason why we never spoke was because that picture was sent to you in that kind of way? I was like, absolutely. I thought you were basically telling me to fuck off. He's like, I would never do something like that to you. Oh my God. Do I inspire people to be that jealous? Like, I don't get it. But at the same time, yeah, I'm sorry. I got a little emotional talking about the story because it was so weird. It was just so weird. But no, we're talking again. Yeah, we're talking again. We're not boyfriends or anything like that, but we are speaking with each other and we're making time. It was like the weirdest thing because like after that epiphany hit, like we got both really emotional and that hug was that, Matthew, I'm so sorry. And I'm also like, I'm sorry too, because I just didn't investigate, but I just didn't want to be disrespectful. This all happened like within that same sorry, like that day was so fucked up for me Sunday after the panel. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then that happened. And I was like, Okay. Like, cause it just made me feel like, okay, God, I know sometimes I complain. I'm sorry, I complain a lot. Let me not lie to you. Um, but it's almost like you have a plan and I just need to trust you on it. You know what I mean? He couldn't believe that. Like I'm telling him that stuff and he's going through his phone trying to figure out if anything else happened. He's like going back to the year like, "Okay, I got to look at this." I don't have a man. But we're talking. So we have not made anything official. We're just having conversations. We're just talking. We're going to plan stuff. I think he's coming over today. He took me to the grocery store the other day, something that I had to beg somebody else to do for me who didn't even want to make the drive. Yet this person literally was like, "You don't have no groceries and your car is in the shop. What time do you need me to be there?" Boom, was here. Went to the grocery store. Da, 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 da. Matt, do you want to do something this weekend? I'm thinking about a movie or something like that. Does he have a good job? Yes. Is he have his own place? Yes. Does he need to live with me? No. I am not used to these things. I am not used to this at all. I am not used to this. Maybe I did, Quan. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. So yeah, so no, it's just really cool because it's someone who I trust. It's someone who knows who I am with my content. It's somebody who respects what I do, who was there at the beginning of all of this with me. You know what I mean? Who saw me in my struggle, who knew all about that. And then we disconnected. And then there was so much in between all of that. And then all of a sudden, it's just like click. So yeah. So I'm gonna stop complaining about shit and just let things be. And I have to be way better at that. Because even if, say, we don't go to that next level, this is like such a good energy and positive thing for me because I was feeling like the last person I've been talking to, they just were, as much as they said some encouraging things, everything felt so physical. Everything felt so about my body and about my ass and about all of that, and less about like real emotional connection. Whereas this person has seen me at my worst, they have seen me at my best. And I love it. And I just love his tall Louisiana fucking self with that accent that he hates when I bring it up. Also, so this is, I have to give y'all examples of things that I like about people. You know, I want a cat, right? But low key, he's a dog guy and he hates cats. But he's like, the first thing he said is, "I guess I'll get used to it. I mean, if I like you and I want to be around you, Matt, that's something I'll get used to." What? Yeah. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God. I was like, what? Because every time I've been in a relationship with somebody, and most of them hate cats, that's why I never got one. They hate them. I don't want to bet. I don't want to do all that. Last relationship I was in that had a cat was with Eric. And that's because he loves animals in general. He should low key be animal whisperer or whatever. But yeah, yeah. So no, so I will be talking to him. We'll continue talking. I asked him because I told him about that guy that I used to date in LA and how weird he was with me, and how he was. I found out he was talking about me and shit or whatever. No, he was being funny with me the other day, and he was like, because I was like, first of all, if we're gonna move in and shit, we have to be on a plan to get married. He goes, okay, then, so why don't we just go to the courthouse? And what if I proposed it there? I said, no, I don't want to do that. He was being funny, but he was just like, I mean, I'm just saying, Matt, if you want to, if we go that route, like, do we have to do something big? And I was like, we don't have to do something big, but I would like to do something that'd be sweet. And he's like, listen, if I'm serious about it, I'm serious about it. His family knows about him. He's not in the closet still. Oh, it's a relief. I don't have to deal with a whole bunch of shit around this situation. So, but yeah, I told him about the you know, um, I told him about like the channel or whatever, and I was like, if you don't want to be on the channel, you don't have to be on the channel. But I was like, but what if my like rant pack wants to see you real quick? He goes, I mean, I can come in and show my face and wave and say hi, and then maybe that's cool. Is that cool? I was like, that's fine. He's like, I'm not trying to be a YouTuber. This is your thing, and I want to support you on that. Sorry, I'm smiling because it's like, it's just really funny how somebody who I had this major crush on back in the day, we both were going through so much. We were going through so much stuff because I wanted to move. I wanted to be, on YouTube. I wanted to make my career happen. He was trying to find his career, and now we're both in really good spaces. I'm making money. He's making money. We have our own places. Like, it's so fucking crazy. I don't feel like I don't know this person. I don't feel like I'm comfortable around him. He respects me. He's also silly as hell. So silly. But yeah. It's just so funny. Yesterday, he took me to the grocery store and then he sat down for a second. He was like, babe, I gotta go home. I have not slept and I'm really sleepy and I don't want to be rude because I want to spend time with you. And I was like, go home. But the rule is you have to call me or text me once you get home. And that's the rule he's kept. Also, every morning has been good morning. How did you sleep? Ooh, I love it. I love it. So, so I'm removing myself off of the apps for right now because I don't want to be distracted. 1, 2, we're not in a relationship, but we're just speaking. We're talking. We are working. We've verified. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna talk it out. And then I told him, what if I want to move to Los Angeles because I want my career to pop off? This is his response. I can work remote. I can work remote. We can figure that out. If that's what we want. He wants to move to Colorado. And I was like, I don't know about Colorado. I was like, Vegas or LA? He goes, ooh, either of the two. So I don't know. So yeah, we will be giving it some time. Maybe you'll see him months from now. It would not be no weeks from now. Months from now, maybe. I haven't met his family yet. He hasn't met mine. We're gonna just take our time with that. Oh my God, that story. Oh girl, when that happens, please give me strength to go meet his family because I'm gonna be like, he got a lot of siblings, like I got a lot of siblings. So I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah. I told him not Colorado because of multiple reasons. But yes, we're taking our time with this one. I'm going to take my time with it. I just don't want to be distracted. I've only had 2 boyfriends ever meet my father, and he did not approve of either one of them. But he was right about them, though. I will give my dad this much credit. He put aside his shit to know who his son was talking to. He made his judgments. He was correct at the end of the day, and that's why we're all not together. But I would introduce Vincent to I'd introduce Vincent to him. I would. My father's name is Vincent, by the way. I'm not going to tell you the guy's name, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Tato, stop it! No, but yeah, so that's kind of the update that's been in my world. Like when I told you story time and I wanted to tell you, like how that entire day went from this person said, fuck you're too gay. This food didn't come through. I'm sitting over here. The ganja man that I was working with can't deliver no more. So I've been over here sitting in my sobriety like, bitch, I want a little sativa, a little indie, a hybrid, please. I need another connect out here in Houston, but God. And then I was just sitting there watching First 48 Child, and then here you go. So yeah, we call well, I don't have a man yet. Y'all talk about a boo thing, but I don't have a man yet. But maybe we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I won't be calling them hubby or wifey or Feline or Jade or Natter or Sala. None of those names will be used. I won't be building a YouTube channel for him. I won't be building a YouTube channel for him. I'm not going to go to his house and leave things there just so I have reasons to come back and hold them hostage to having time with me. I'm not going to do that. That's for the girls who know what I'm talking about. Let me know if y'all want to talk about that foodie booty mess and the Amberlynn Reed stuff, a really foodie booty going to Kuwait for that man just so she can yell at her ex online, child. My God. But no, we're not going to do any couples channels or anything like that. That's not his MO. It's not his jush or whatever. And I also don't feel like, and I've had this feeling before. Shout out to the person who unsubscribed because of this live. Thank you. Weird. I just find it really like I don't want to feel like I got to compete with or for attention with somebody, and I don't want anybody louder than me. Does that make sense? When I start to feel like somebody's performing is when I'm like, I can't do this. I need to feel like you are yourself all the time because I need that sort of like, structure. I like really need it badly. If and when we do become official, maybe. But after that situation happened with the guy in LA and how his friends who watched me got very involved with us and how he was talking and treating me and made it seem like I was using him and all that kind of shit. I just can't do that shit no more, man. I can't have people with their I didn't even talk to you about this moment help you out. It's like I can't do it because they only accept the opinions of those who are their friends and not the person who was actually trying to do something with you. So it's like, I don't want to do all that. So, but yeah. Yeah, I understand that, Matty. I want a man that likes the same stuff as me, but I don't know. See, he doesn't like the same stuff as me, though, and I'm okay with that. But there's stuff that we can connect on, that we can enjoy together, and I think that was another thing that I was having issues with was like trying to find somebody who was like gonna like everything that I liked. I don't want no one liking Drag Race like me. That's my money. That's how I make my. That's how I make my rent. you know. Aaron, I saw you made a comment and it's funny because I really want to highlight it because I met your significant other who I love y'all together so much. So much love there. Where is this comment? I want to highlight it. I just started talking. Oh, I mean, Matty, that's why Kay and I work so well. We have our own universes, but we come together when needed. And I got to tell y'all, Aaron and his boo thing are the cutest, sweetest thing ever. And I just loved, first of all, I liked Kay because I could talk about music with him. And music is something that I don't necessarily make a part of my channel, but it is a passion of mine where I do like to hear people who can analyze and break down things and then give me new information on stuff I didn't know about because I am like one of those folks. Receive. Someone asked for my moon. I'm a Libra with a Virgo rising and a Gemini moon. A mess. An emotional perfectionist. An emotional perfectionist who sometimes gets very in their feels, but it's not all the time. It's just when I can't like figure it out. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah. No, it's funny because I think he does play games, but he's not as serious as me, but he doesn't mind me playing games. It reminds me of my friend's relationship between Jeff and Troy because they're both gamers, but they don't play the same games. Like Troy's League of Legends. He's on that computer wearing it the fuck out. Jeff is more like Switch tees, PlayStation tees, that kind of stuff. And they both can interchange, but one is more on that than the other. But that's one of their connections that works so well with them, along with so many other things. But that's something I love about that. When I go in their house and I see that shit, and I'm like, Jeff right there on that. And here I know Troy in the room. Hey, Troy, I got some headphones on playing League of Legends. Pow, 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 pow. Maddie, this is totally off topic, but off topic. Talk. Maddie, this is totally off topic, but do you like watching professional Street Fighter? A couple of weeks ago, a 16-year-old won a tournament against some of Europe's best players. I haven't been watching recently, but I do normally watch the tournament plays when it comes to fighting games because I'm very interested in that sort of entertainment. That's kind of my sports too, is watching the gaming arenas and stuff. So yeah, I do watch that. I didn't see that, but I saw clips of it though, Bobby Drake. Mm-hmm. Having different perspectives keeps you centered and can be open to each other's thoughts, and it gives variety in your life. Exactly. Like this man saw all this, nothing was said, and all that, and nothing was said. That's what you want. That's what you like. That's what you do. Oh, that's the thing too that I like about him is he knows me for my worriness. Like he said the first time I met him, he said the first time I met him, hold on, y'all. The first time I met him, I was just I had dated some people who came to my house and they like were ripping it apart. At the time, I wasn't like making a lot of money. I had a job and I was working, but the people okay, I'm gonna tell you a story. At the place I worked at, I had some coworkers come to my house and I didn't have my furniture the way I wanted to. And I had like a small bed, this, that, and the other, and all that kind of stuff. Those people then went to work after coming to my place to be like, Matty acts all bougie, but I just came from his apartment and that bitch is poor. He ain't got shit up in there, girl. What is he acting like that for? She's being fake. Mind you, they're not aware that I grew up in a $2.5 million house and my daddy was a stockbroker. And we went from having everything to nothing to having everything to nothing to having everything again. I've lived a very interesting life, right? So they were running with that at work. And these were people I trusted. And that made me insecure about a lot of stuff. They also were telling people I had AIDS because I was losing weight at work. I'm actually 40 pounds heavier than I was when I was working at that job. The reason why I was so skinny was because I couldn't afford to eat a lot because I was so focused on paying bills. My car note was $500 for a fucking Kia Forte. Like, are you serious? I had the worst deal on that car, but I needed the car. And so instead of getting help with the car, what happened? I was forced into the vehicle. I also was taking care of myself after a really bad breakup and I had to like do all the things myself and I wasn't prepared to do all of that. And so it put me in a position where days I go to work, I'd only eat like ramen noodles and that would be it. And I come home and have the same thing and it just be water. And I wasn't feeding myself. And then I also was bad with money, which I still am bad with money. Oh, I'm bad with money. I'm going out to eat, not realizing I got an electric bill to pay for. I got this to pay for because I just wanted to not look like the person who couldn't go. And so it was keeping up with the Joneses. He met me when I was in that place in my life. And I was feeling really bad about, oh God, I hate talking about this, but I was feeling really bad about just who I was. So he was telling me when we were on the couch, he's like, I remember I came over your place and you were like, I'm sorry, I don't have all of this stuff here. There's no rug and my bed's a little small and all that kind of crap. And he was like, I don't care. He was reminding me of that shit. And it blew my mind because I'm like, you really knew me when I was the most insecure about myself. And he said, I did. And I still liked you. But he also was going through his own personal stuff too. So it's just very interesting how we meet each other again later on in life. And this feels a lot different than the initial person who I had trusted recently who kind of fucked me over. It's just really weird. Josh. I love your Arceus picture. Yeah. It's Arceus. Matty, you out here putting my business in the air like that because I'm trying to get out of that phase. I get it, Josh, when it comes to expectations and what we want people to see of us. Do you get what I'm saying? What you want people to see you look like? It's taken me a very, very, very long time to get out of that phase, brother. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It sucks. Therapy helps. And every now and then I still feel some kind of way. Like right now with my car not working, it's like, ooh, girl. And people going, why don't you just pay for it yourself? Bitch, it would be more than the car is worth. And now I have to resave up the money. And remember, I was saving up all that money before to get a car. Like, ah. So, it's a little difficult. But in reality, I'm starting to learn that everything that's happening right now is for a reason. The things that take place, the people that come into my life, the people that get out of my life, the people that reintroduce themselves into my life. Some people definitely deserve to come back and others don't. And we learn the hard way sometimes. And then other times it's the best thing possible and the connections change. But I love how y'all are saying, like, you need to keep that in. Honey, listen, all this rump back here, they ain't going nowhere. Trust. 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 We've locked that part of it down, and we can still do there, you know. Trey, you did miss it. It's at the beginning portion of this. I decided to talk about the drama at the earlier part of the episode. Got to be here on time because I wanted to actually have this rant with me not be about that drama. But I decided to talk about it because it is a part of course, Hot Topics, this, that, and the other. So on the playback, you can go over it, okay? It's funny you say all of this because recently I've reconnected with someone too, and I'm so happy. Yeah, it's because Trav, it's that familiarity of that person that knows you, and I can be myself around them. I'm not trying to butch it up for this guy because they want to hear a low voice, light skinned person that they see on TV who reminds them of somebody. No. They like me for me, and they enjoy the romp, and that's what's important. I hate that I have my dad's laugh my dad laughs like that he ha ha ha, but he goes into I'm starting to do that now, and oh my God. Y'all don't know how much I don't want to do that at all. I don't want to do that at all, but what can I say? What can I say? Yeah, I talked about Miss Mama exposing her sisters of color and then making an apology for the girls that should have been apologized to that didn't have nothing to do with them, and then low key doing a backhanded compliment at the same time. No, ma'am. Did all that, talked about it, did all that, talked about that other stuff too, that the accusations going on, the allegedlys of it all. But yeah, that kind of stuff. Just to throw this up just for shits and giggles, because you never know. You never know. You never know. Listen. Okay. Has anyone done the replay yet for 2022 with Apple or your I see the festival tours or whatever? I played excuse me. I played Beyonce's Renaissance. I was actually kind of gagged to see how many times I played it. Girl, let me pull this picture up. This is a gag. I played that album 816 times. 816 times I played Renaissance. Break My Soul 255. Move 141. America Has a Problem 128. You're gonna gag at this one. This was my number 4 song of 2022. Ooh, I want to hold you. It's for UK versus the world. It's how I wanna hold you. Boom, 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 boom. Bitch, that was a bop. I don't give a damn. Ooh. 124 times. And then Pure Honey's 113 was my top 5. RuPaul can't say I don't like her. And I may have dragged her for some music, but that lady can't say I don't like her because she was number 4 and number 6. Catwalk was 106. Cozy's 105. Alien Superstar 89. On the Level by Mac DeMarco is one of my favorite songs ever. I'm so mad I just now found it. It came out a while ago, but TikTok and Instagram Reels made it famous. And Just What They Want is 86. I'm shocked that Catwalk has more than Just What They Want. So RuPaul and Beyonce were my top 10 of 2022. They cannot say I hate the show. Do you hear me? They cannot come for me. I support. I stream, lady. Oh, I did it again. No. No. Oh. Catwalk is a good song just to walk around the house and feel your Jewish, you know. Other than that, how y'all doing? Y'all okay? I know life can be weird. You know, I'm telling you my stories, but I hope y'all are okay too. Give yourself a hug for me, please. Hey, Peace to Mateo. Thank you for the super chat. If y'all want to tip me, it's down there, but super chats are welcome. Thank you so much, babe. I also wanted to ask y'all how y'all would feel about me doing memberships because I've been paying attention to how that works. And of course, I do lives like this or whatever, but I think with memberships, you get like special privileges and stuff like that. So I just want to know. I want to know. Access Pleasure. Maddie, when are your Dragula lives? They're on Wednesday, so that's tomorrow. Me and Dooley will be going live at 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. Hate that I did that in that order, but 3:30 Pacific, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern on this channel is when we'll go live. And I did see I saw the episode today for the Ugly Ladies of Wrestling rematch. I will have that reaction posted to Patreon today. Peace to Mateo. Thank you. I was talking to this guy and it felt so right, but then the combo just went flat and I don't know how to feel about it. It felt so right, shaking my head. Okay, so let's talk about shit like that happening, right? You didn't do anything wrong. A lot of this stuff with dating, I'm starting to recognize as I continue to, pass in years. Everybody is testing the waters. Everybody is putting their toe into the pool and yanking it back out. What happens though is that some people are very much conversationalists and are able to talk, and it seems like it's so. This is it. This is us. We're gonna make it here. We're gonna do all of that, but they're also doing that with other people. And so it's nothing that you did. It's that maybe somebody who they also were talking to at the same time as you gave them more of what they were looking for. And it went past that point of conversation, I have to try to not take those things offensively, just like with, of course, that guy on Tinder, even though I told my story today. I'm not going to hold it against him forever. I just thought it was really shitty how he was setting up, I'm going to meet up with you. And then instead of him going, hey, it's just not going to work out. I thought you would be my type, but not. I would have accepted that. It wouldn't have been a F you, buddy. I would have been like, okay, it's all good. Made sure the response was back and then unmatched appropriately instead of just, And no, he does not owe me an explanation. No one owes any of us an explanation. It just would have felt like that would have been the more civilized thing to do and the less tacky thing or way of working that out, This is kind of how I felt about it. But to each their own. But that person, just like y'all always tell me with the people who I deal with, clearly while it was going well, it wasn't meant to be. And maybe they were looking for something a little bit more immediate, I keep doing that, Let me hear this. It's like I would try to initiate the convo and it would go somewhere, but then it would end. I've told myself, oh, damn. Did I screenshot? Ooh, let me see if I screenshot this. I'm going to give you I'm going to do you a favor, please. I got you, bitch. Let me see if I screenshotted this conversation so I can read it to you, how this guy was talking to me. And we've matched I'm glad I'm off the Facebook dating because we matched several times. We would unmatch, then rematch. It's like he forgot who the fuck I was because, so many people are in his inbox. Let me see if I have this conversation so I can give you an example of what you're talking about here. Oh, yeah, I want to do that for you, baby. Let me see. That's a screenshot I took for Jamar in case he needed it, cause that person was talking shit. He thought that Jamar couldn't see it, but I saved it. I saved it. Because if that guy came back into his life, I was gonna be like, stop. He talked that shit. Damn, I didn't save it. I wanted to read this. Okay, let me tell you what happened. So it's like Facebook dating. This guy, we would always match. He was definitely on my type. He was definitely my type. I thought he was. I thought he was the cat's meow or whatever. And he, found me attractive too. But he was gaslighting me when it came to our conversations. He was gaslighting me. And what would happen is I would ask him a question and he would answer it, but he wouldn't answer it with a responding question. I've been guilty of that too. I've done that sometimes as well because maybe I didn't want to continue the conversation. And then I've had to come back and be like, you know what? Let me just be real with you. It's not going to go anywhere. But I always come back to it's not going to go anywhere. So this guy, he was like, I actually have another conversation I can share. The guy who called me a bitch recently. Is this it? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna share that one. But he was like asking me like what my favorite food was, and I was like, oh, I like this, that, and the other, and it's so good. What do you like? And he'd be like, oh, I love Italian food. Period. What do you do? How do you how? Okay, it's I have a question. Go. I answer the question. Question back. Answers question. Question back. Question. Question back. Question. Question back. Reciprocation. So what happened is that he didn't say anything after he'd said what he wanted to eat. He then sent me oh, now all of a sudden you're quiet. Guess you're not serious about finding someone. I said, you just told me what you wanted, like what you like to eat. You didn't ask me a question. He goes, and I put this on everything. Well, why didn't you just follow up with another question? Why do I have to drive this bus? I didn't know I was the pilot on this 747 today. I can't fly a Boeing. What? That shit blew my mind. I was like, what the hell is happening here? So I'm going to now read a conversation I had on Jacked with somebody that didn't go nowhere. And I'm going to read it. I am going to read it to you, and you're going to get. Now that purple, you see this purple? That's how I respond. You see how that's actual detailed conversation? Yeah. Notice how not okay. You see what I'm talking about? Okay. I'm having conversations with you. I know what I'm doing. So here we go. They hit me up. Hey, beautiful. I said, hello. They said, what's up? Spelled WSUP. Just cleaning up around my place, watching TV is my response. And you? Question mark. He then goes, watching TV. An hour passes. Because he just said watching TV. What am I going to go off of that? He goes, what are you looking for, man? I said, no expectations for me. Just open a convo and seeing if there's any chemistry is my response. He immediately responded with, okay. 30 minutes passes, just 30. He goes, then no reply. I was like, I'm going to give you that receipt. I said, you just said, okay. Wasn't sure if that was you ending the conversation. Their response is, did I say I was ending it? Your screen name has shy in it. Are you joking me? Your username has shy in it. Are you joking me? I was like, oh my God. So, did I say I was ending it? Exclamation point. I said, why the exclamation? I'm just responding to you saying, then no reply. In quotes, I put, after I told you what I was looking for. His response, bitch, bye. I responded, yo, like just like that, yo. His response is, ugh, ugh, huh? Online dating 2022. That is why I'm deleting these apps and I'm getting the fuck on out. You got my number? Pew pew. Because isn't that weird? Like, huh? I was like, what? But so y'all help me out here, and I mean, don't talk to me like you're rant pack and I just love you, Matty. But like, no, for real, was I wrong for how I was having that conversation? I thought I was being really responsive. Speaking of which, y'all see this? This is my monkeypox shot. This itches. It wasn't itch. It itched the first time she put it in, then nothing. Then I didn't even see this the entire day yesterday. Now all of a sudden, it's red and it's super itchy, and I'm just like, oh my God, what is happening here? Ugh. Jesus. Yeah, go get them now. You need to get them now, baby, because they have to. They have to like do a lot to get the shot ready because they have to warm it up. They got to do a whole bunch of things with it. There's a lot that goes deeper into it. So the place I went to, it's like they only do it for a certain amount of times because of the things they have to do to make sure they have enough because it's only a limited amount. But I'll be getting my second one. They said 4 weeks from when was this? I went into this yesterday. So 4 weeks from now, I'll be there. Yeah. Thank you, Mattis, because honestly, I felt crazy. So, do you see what I'm saying, Peace? Like when you talk to people and you give them a little bit of that and they don't give that back, and then now you're questioning yourself. That's not you. That's not you. Um, they're gonna ask you, Nine Tails, they're gonna bring up allergies because if you're allergic to specifically what's in it, no ma'am. Also, if you're immunocompromised, they have to go through some extra steps to make sure that you can take the shots. So if you're one of those people that is that, they may be a little difficult to do, but mine was set up because my doctor did that for me. Yeah. Yeah, no, the nurse who did my arm, she was good about it or whatever, but it was just so weird because I talked about it at the beginning of the video. I'm so sorry. Oh, hopes. I'm sorry. I talked about all the drama in the beginning. So on the replay, it's in the beginning. Like the first 30 minutes is all dedicated to that, I promise you. This is just like tea time, personal stuff. Me. um yeah. Yeah. I would look it up, Nine Tail, to see if it's sulfur in general. I didn't think I saw that there, but it's possible. So I would take a look at that. Hey Nidra, how you doing, baby? How you doing, my sister? How you doing, lovey dove? Hope you're well, my lovey. I miss Nidra and Nine Tail low key. Actually, I'll be honest with you. I saw Nikki too at DragCon. I hope I get to see some of y'all again. Actually, all of y'all again, and more people at DragCon LA 2023. I really hope so. I don't know if I'll have a booth again. I'll have to talk to Bible Girl about that. I don't know what she's doing this year. But yeah, I can't wait to see y'all again because I feel like that's the time I get to see everybody. It's like if we all meet in that moment. Gabby, hi Pokey Pokes. Mm-hmm. Hey baby, hey Ryla, hey Patty. Why I say it like Patty? I'm so sorry. Why did I say it like that? Hey Patty, how your name ended with that that Billy Porter way of saying, "Hey Patty," like it's supposed to be a song. I'm gonna run next to you. Oh my goodness. Planning on finally going to DragCon this year. Say mature, it'll be so great to meet you. It's gonna be a lot. It's only gonna be 2 days this year. Did y'all see that? Only 2 days. I was like, what? So we learned that Fridays aren't necessary. Great. Because that's tea. Fridays aren't necessary. Also, here's the giggle. Nidra and anybody else too. Remember how I was talking about a little din or something like that? We didn't get to do that this past year. Now that it's November going into December, and that's going to be in May, if y'all are going, I need you to be like, Matt, can we do like a dinner or something? Can we do something? Because I'm down for family dinners and us going out to eat at a restaurant or something like that. And of course, everybody takes care of themselves or whatever, because I can't be responsible for shit. Except for maybe buy everyone's first round of drinks. I don't know if I'm that rich girl, but like seriously, if y'all want to do that shit and we go out and do something like that, I am down, but we have to plan that shit like early. So that way I know how many of us are going to go. We would have the reservation set up a month in advance, all of that. And it doesn't have to be like some crazy awesome dinner at a steakhouse. We could just go to like a yard house or something, but a rant pack dinner. I would really want to do that. I've been dying to do that. I wanted to do that the last DragCon before, the COVID hit and then all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Maddie, can I ask you something about all winners? Sure, I can answer what I can answer. Can't promise it'll be what you want, but I can try. I do know about, okay, do y'all want some tea? Do you want a little bit of tea? I'm not going to, I can't. I can allude to something. I can allude to something. Do not wait the month before. Do not wait the week before. You need to buy. Say mature. I would buy them if you can now. I would get them if you want to get like, especially like the the premium package to go. I have to apply for my press pass. You got to do it every year, and then I also wanted to get a VIP at the same time too. So yeah, okay. So okay. This is what yeah, bitch. They were giving Anastasia Beverly Hills pallets in the last time that I was there. They were giving pallets. You got a backpack. You get a lot of shit with VIP. I still have the VIP jacket from 2019. It's really fucked up because I washed it wrong or whatever, but I still have the one from 2019 from New York City. This actually, I should have took care of this better because this is the last DragCon they had in New York City. Oh, I should have took care of this jacket a lot better. I mean, it's a little cheap. It's a little cheap with the letters, so but VIP is cool because you also get easier access in line, Sam. Like you don't have to wait in the long line and shit like that. All that. Okay, so here's a little something I'm gonna give you, and I'm not gonna tell you it directly because I got told directly what it was, and I was like, holy shit. Okay. wishes will be granted for seasons we have talked about possibly being a reality. Wishes will be granted. Am I confirming that list? No. Am I confirming something? No. But I'm going to say that there has been a lot of talk about what's next. A lot of y'all may be right. Possibly. Allegedly. Maybe. Two. No. Now I'm going to say no to that one. No. Not that, but something else we talked about. What that we were like, well, what's next? And it was like, mm-hmm. Secondly, oh, oh, let me try to. I want to try to do this without spoiling anything. There may be a redo of one that we didn't think was going to be a redo of. Like they're going to have like a part two, like a season 2 of it. It's like what? That's it. That's all I'm gonna do. That's all. That's all I'm gonna do. 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 I'll let y'all speculate on that. I will let you speculate on that. But there is another. Y'all are all wrong. Oh my God. Someone, I will say, somebody did, and I mean somebody did kind of give one of my little hints away. One of them, but there's another one. And when I say redo, I should just say season 2 of it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Ooh, that's a good way to put it. A season 2. It's like, really? Are we sure? And how? Oh, that was me when I got that info. I was like, but how are they going to do that? How are they going to? Are they going to have the same formula? That's all. I kept saying that. Is it going to be the same formula? Is it going to be this, that, the other? Like, what's going to be? And she's like, I can't tell you. And I was like, okay. But back it up. Back it up. It's not about Tyra. I'll confirm that. It's not about Tyra. Um, but yeah, I told y'all I will tell y'all tea without actually spilling it and let your brains work. And then when it finally pops up, you could be like, that's what Matt was alluding to. That's what Matt was talking about. Mm-hmm. You know what, Gabby, if you're still in this chat because you are low key JV squad for the panel, I can inbox you what I know. Because the panel already knows if I ever share anything, you can't take it past this point. Otherwise, you out this program. We have to keep this shit to ourselves because that's how we still keep the shit. That's how we get told what's up because we don't spill that. That's why other girls don't get tea because they be like, oh, she's going to be messy. I'll allude to it. So, what did I say? I said part 2 of something, something. Mm-hmm. And then I said something that we wanted to happen or we were thinking was going to happen is going to happen. The what's next. Yes. The what's next of it all. I just hope that they cast the one that I want on there. That's all I'm going to say. They better cast my bitch. That's all I'm going to say. For either or. I would prefer it be the first one I talked about. I would prefer it to be the first one I talked about. I'm sorry, they have 3 what? Wait, what? Huh? Really? God. I saw one comment that was correct about one of them. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. There's another one though y'all have not figured out yet. You will never, you'll never figure it out. It's gonna be such a gag when it happens too, because it's gonna be like, really, girl? Oh, we're doing that? Interesting. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. There was one that was correct up in there. One, maybe two of y'all said it because it's low key already been like alluded to already. But there's the girls are there. There's real talks about it. The other one though, I don't want to like do it with y'all. I can't say it because it's too early. And I feel like if I talk about it, they will definitely come after my ass. So I'm like, but whatever that second one is, Gabby, I'm gonna send it to you on Instagram. Don't come back in here and tell it or anybody else, please, because that's how that shit gets to Reddit. And then all of a sudden, Matty was the one. But like, you want to be family, sister. I'm about to do this for you, okay? Okay. You can come back and be like, girl, gag. You come back and be like, oh, y'all about to gag. So let's see here. Okay, let me send it to Gabby. I really wish I could just yell at you, the person who posted it, and be like, you are correct, at the one who was correct. There's two of y'all that were correct. Other than that, everybody else is throwing out shit that conversations have been had about those. There's just not been a confirmation of let's get the ball rolling on them. There is a lot of coming up. Oh, it's gonna be interesting. I'm like, World of Wonder. I see you. Y'all are doing it. It's smart, but also I'm like, you could bring me in on this too. I wouldn't say anything, of course, but like exclusively, if you wanted me to do like a pit stop or something. Oh my gosh. No, you're fine. It's just I think a lot of y'all will be happy. It just depends on how they cast these shows. Trey, it's not Drag You. I'll just go ahead and tell you all that. It's not Drag You. Although that has been they have been talking about bringing that back. That is something I did hear through the grapevine, but that one doesn't really have any validity to it. The other one do. Those do have validity. And I really just really hope God, please cast that correctly. Because if you give us some boring bitches, it's not gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Yeah. I threw that tea at Gabby and ran. SM, it's interesting you said that. Not a read. No. Mm-mm. 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 But I like that you said redo. That's interesting. That's an interesting concept. I would think I would highlight that and then start to think a little bit bigger. Mm-hmm. What I will say about that, Trav, is that is a conversation, but also there was a lot of stuff that went down during the winter season to where they may not want to do that again. I'm just gonna be honest with you. RuPaul's Drag Race Superfan. Hi, boo. I am happy. I'm excited that we're gonna finally get some promo too. It's supposed to be coming out next week. That I did see. I saw about that. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna start on stereo first, and I need to talk to somebody who is familiar with podcasting and how I can format it and work my way into bringing it to Apple or say Spotify services. I've decided to actually take that seriously, and by or before the end of the year, I will have a podcast up and running, and I will make it a Tuesday show. It'll be Tuesdays. I prayed on it. I thought about it. I'm like, I gotta, because as much as I love talking about Drag Race and all that kind of shit, I really want to like get into like more than just that, you know? Because I'm more than just that show talking about it, you know what I mean? I have not started White Lotus and I'm so mad at myself. Can I tell you why I haven't started? Okay. So this was the weekend I was supposed to start it up, but I actually like was not in a good headspace. And it was like kind of after Thanksgiving sort of stuff. And I had like this weird phone call during the weekend that kind of like put me in a bad, really bad headspace. And I was trying to finish out UK and Chucky. So now that I finished those out, I am going to be doing the White Lotus show. So if you're on my Patreon, get ready because it's about to be a whole bunch of back to back to back to back to back to back to back kind of mess. Get ready. So yeah, I will be covering it, but give me a second. I'm actually, you know what? Now that I finished Dragula today and I edited the reaction, let me watch the first episode of White Lotus so I can get that posted for season 2 for my Patreon people, especially since I don't have a couple other shows and it's just gonna be Canada versus the world. We're here, White Lotus and Dragula Titans that I cover on Patreon for right now. So yeah, I got it. Got it. It's coming. I needed to finish Chucky. Oh my God, that finale for season 2 was a gag. We're going to talk about that on Thursday here in the channel. A gag. I was so gagged. I was like, oh my God, please let it be a season 3. Matty, I have not been watching Wednesday. That's on my list. It's on my Netflix list though. I heard it was good. I heard it was really good. So I might binge watch that. Do you want me to do reactions to it? How long are the episodes though? Oh, I got to think about like how my upload. I only got 20 gigabytes on Vimeo. How long are the episodes for Wednesday? And how many episodes are there? And is it all in one season? Like I can just binge it through, or like what? Thank you, Mel. Love you, Matty. Just wanted to say we love to see the growth. Been watching for a long time. Yay! It's amazing to see how far you came. Oh, thank you, Mel. I appreciate it. I'm trying. We still have more roads to, walk, drive on. We have more mountains to climb. We've got more stairs to steep. That made not one bit of sense, but it did a little bit. I actually like the second season better. I enjoyed the campiness of season 2, but I thought it was really good. It deserves another season. 8 episodes. Ooh. I might be able to add that to the Patreon. Some of my episodes would have to be uploaded in 540p though, versus the 720 I've been doing because of the amount of gigabytes I can upload per week. I'm only limited to 20 per week, 20 gigabytes. So, okay. Yeah, let me put that together. I do need to go soon because I have well, I talked about it earlier. I do need to go soon because I need to get ready. Gabby. Gabby was like, oh my God. Told you. It's gonna be a gag. Told you. Let me see here. Me, I want to see the hairball or cake design challenge. The Zodiac one for me. The Zodiac one. The Zodiac one is the one I would need to redo on. And I need them to cast people with different Zodiac signs on purpose. So it's not just a whole bunch of this running around the stage. So I would say the Zodiac one deserves a redo. Okay, I gotta go. Gotta get dressed, gotta get things together. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to me. And I know it was a very long live. We did talk about some tea, the allegations allegedly towards Shangela. I sided with the victim, but at the same time, like all the stuff that's come out with the Drag Race drama, I have to wait and sit back on it before I just jump on somebody's back and attack. That's what people like to do. Journalistic integrity here, I can't do that. So we will continue to follow. I talked about the Dragula drama also earlier in the video here, broke down a little bit of it, gave you some of my thoughts on that piece. So much. I also got into what my Thanksgiving was like, how I'm currently with my family, as well as dating life currently where I'm at right now, and just a general chat. So I hope that you had a good time. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Drop a tip in my jar if you feel like it, if I entertained you for this good 2 hours and some change I almost said proportion. That's not the word. It's not the word. But yeah, I had a good time today. I kind of, I've been doing the 2-day thing off recently, but I'm like, God, I fucking love getting on here and just talking to y'all. So either way, take care, please. Take care, take care, take care. Take care of yourselves. Pat yourself on the back if you don't think you're doing a good job. At least you're trying. At least you're trying. And that's what's most important. Don't be too hard on yourselves. Remind yourself about the love that you deserve and the love that is yours inside. If you don't get it from the people around you, you got it all the way over here in Houston from your boy Matty. Seriously, okay? So take care. I love y'all. Damn. Get on that Patreon if you want. Tomorrow, it'll be me and Dooley talking about Dragula Titans, the ugly ladies of wrestling. I will have that reaction uploaded shortly for you as well to my Patreon, so be on the lookout for that. I love every single one of you. Please take care, and I will talk to y'all later. All right. Bye. Listen. Yeah.